Hello friends, welcome to Tips and Tricks in Mathematics. This is for class 9 students and the topic of discussion is number systems. This is an introductory video on number systems and we will be covering topics such as number line, rational numbers, irrational numbers, whole numbers, integers. Let us start this. Here we have shown a number line. It consists of putting 0 at the center of the line and all positive numbers on the right hand side of the 0 and negative numbers on the left hand side of the 0. So the numbers are written in a straight line. The numbers are in proper order like 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and the arrow mark says that this line is continuous and it goes up to infinity. Similarly, on the left side, we see the negative value of numbers. So how does it help? A number line helps in comparing the numbers. For example, we want to compare two numbers 4 and 1. So here is the 4 on the number line and 1 is here on the number line. Now 4 is on the right hand side of 1. So it means 4 is greater than 1. Any number which is more on the right hand side is a bigger number. Let us check another two numbers -1 and -3. We observe that -1 is here and -3 is here. Now -1 is greater than -3 because -1 is on the right hand side of -3. Now question arises, are there more numbers between any two numbers, say between 3 and 4? Let us say 3 and 4. Do we have any numbers between that, say 3.1, 3.2? Yes, there are numbers and we'll be discussing those numbers in next slides. Let us start with definition of integers. So what are integers? Number that does not include fractional part. It includes negative numbers also. For example, 3 is an integer. -4 is also an integer. Please note there is no fractional part, like there is no decimal part. 3.1 will not be an integer. Similarly, -4.2 will not be an integer. Only the real part is the integer part. The fraction 3/4 is also not an integer. Now question arises whether 0 is an integer. The answer is yes, 0 is an integer. Now we'll come to the definition of natural numbers. All positive integers are natural numbers. For example, 1, 2, 3 and so on till infinity, all the numbers are natural numbers. Please note only positive integers. So -4 will not be a natural number. All negative integers are not natural numbers. Similarly, the fraction 3/4 is also not a natural number. Then a question comes whether 0 is a natural number. The answer is no. 0 is not a natural number. What are whole numbers? Previously we have seen natural numbers are 1, 2, 3 and so on. If we add 0 to that list also, then we get the list of whole numbers. So whole number consists of 0 and all positive integers, or 0 and all natural numbers. For example, 0, 1, 2, 3 and so on are whole numbers. Negative numbers or negative integers are not whole numbers. -2 is not a whole number. Similarly, the fraction, any fraction 3/4 or 4/3 is not a whole number. Now coming to the definition of rational numbers. What are rational numbers? Numbers written in the form p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. So any number which can be written as p by q form where p and q are integers. For example, 1/2. So that is a rational number. 3/4 is a rational number. What is this q not equal to 0 means? In any fraction, if the denominator becomes 0, then the fraction is no longer defined. For example, 3/0. 3/0 is not defined. or it is an infinite number. So that is why we put a condition that q is not equal to 0 or the denominator term is not 0 in a rational number. So the fraction 3 by 4 is a rational number. Question comes whether negative numbers are rational number. For example, minus 5, is it a rational number? Yes, because minus 5 can be written as minus 5 by 1. A minus 5 is p and 1 is q. So it is written in the form p by q. Hence it is a rational number. Now come to irrational numbers. Numbers that cannot be written in the form p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. Some examples of irrational numbers are root 2, root 3, root 5. They are examples of irrational number. Pi is also an irrational number. If we have got this as irrational number, question arises, are all square root of a number is an irrational number? For example, root 4, root 9, are they irrational numbers? Answer is no. Root 9 is not an irrational. So question comes, how do we find? Because root 2, we can say that it cannot be written in the form of p by q. But what about root 4, root 9? So there should be some more easier definition for that. Let us see that. So irrational numbers, if we see the decimal parts of the irrational numbers, they are non-terminating and non-repeating decimal places. So for example, root 2 equal to this, and it goes on. This series or decimal part is not terminating at 6. It keeps on. There are more numbers to that. So they are non-terminating. It doesn't end. And non-repeating. The series of 4, 1, 4, 2, 1, 3, 5, 6, it is non-repeating. This series will not be repeated anytime. So it is an irrational number. So irrational numbers has non-terminating and non-repeating decimal places. Similarly, pi. The value of pi is this. This is incomplete decimal list. After 7, 9 also there are more numbers to that. And again it is non-terminating and non-repeating. So pi is also an irrational numbers. Let us see examples of repeating decimal examples. For example, this decimal places 5, 3 is repeating. So we put a bar over that and we see that this is a repeating decimal. Similarly, this example also 7, 5, 2 is repeating decimals. 3 is repeating. We put a bar over that. So these are the examples of rational numbers. They are not irrational. Root 2, pi, root 3, root 5, root 7, root 11, root 13, they are examples of irrational numbers. Now let us define real numbers. Real number encompasses both rational and irrational numbers. We have seen earlier rational numbers, integers, whole numbers, natural numbers, irrational numbers all together can be said as real numbers. So real numbers is basically the big daddy. It encompasses all the numbers. So in your 9th textbook, if you see any number, either fraction or decimal portion or an integer or a whole number or a natural number or an irrational number, it is called a real number. Friends, with this we conclude this video. Please share this video and like this video. And please subscribe this channel so that next video can be released and quickly given to you. Thank you very much, friends.